So the other day I was listening to the Downward Spiral, and looking at the cover I thought, man, I don't know if any other album cover represents the music as well as this one. Artist Russell Mills made it out of materials such as plaster, rusted metals, moths, wax, and even his own blood, saying that physically it's sinewy and visceral, like the music. But anyway, I asked myself, what other albums sound exactly like the look of their cover? In this video, I'll try to answer that question. Let me know what your personal picks are in the comments. This video is in collaboration with the very talented Eddie of Motion Covers. Go check out his social media, links are in the description. Number 10. Fleet Foxes. Fleet Foxes. For their acclaimed self-titled debut, Fleet Foxes used the 16th century painting Netherlandish Proverbs, and I think it perfectly fits the band's unique style of Baroque pop. Fleet Foxes give off such nostalgic and rustic vibes. Some of their songs even sound like they've been beamed in from the past. There's a strange familiarity in the melodies, as if they're ancient troubadour songs from the Middle Ages or something. Frontman Robin Pecknold said of the cover that, "When you first see that painting, it's very bucolic, but when you look closer, there's all this really strange stuff going on. Like dudes defecating coins into the river, people on fire, people carving a live sheep. I liked that the first impression is that it's just pretty, but then you realize that the scene is this weird chaos. And perhaps that's true of Fleet Foxes' music as well. On first listen, it all sounds very pretty, with beautiful pitch-perfect harmonies. But digging deeper in the lyrics, there are traces of Pecknold's struggles with loneliness, abandonment, and anxiety. Number 9. Nick Drake. Pink Moon. The cover of Nick Drake's third and final album stands out, as it doesn't feature a portrait of the singer-songwriter. Drake's deteriorating mental health at the time was notable in his appearance, so the record label instead went with a surrealist painting by the artist Michael Trevithick. Many that know of Nick Drake's struggles with depression deem Pink Moon to be a very sad record, and maybe they're right. But in case you don't know the backstory or try to look past it, the music can also be incredibly beautiful, and that's true of the cover as well. Trevithick's painting is melancholic, but not necessarily depressing. The surrealist imagery, in the vein of Salvador Dali, is intriguing, making it hard to look away. I also think that the comfy, earthy color palette fits very well with the tone of the record, the lyrics having several references to the earth and to the elements. Number 8. Neutral Milk Hotel. In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. As in the case with the Fleet Foxes album, the cover of In the Aeroplane Over the Sea is like looking through a shop window into the past. The artwork was created by Chris Bilheimer, who modified an old postcard from the early 20th century showing some bathers at sea. He replaced the woman's face with a drumhead, making the cover as surreal as the music itself. The album, featuring bizarre lyrics, lo-fi production, and unusual instrumentation, like singing saws, trumpets, and trombones, often gives you the sense of being at some turn-of-the-century carnival, circus, or freak show, and the cover very much leans into that emotion. Perhaps All Music said it best when they compared the record to a marching band on acid. Number 7. Sigur Ros. Augetis Burion. Sigur Ros's music is as vast as the stunning backdrops of their native Iceland, and it's no wonder why their music has been frequently used in nature documentaries, like Planet Earth. From the beginning, the music press was early to pick up on this connection. In a 1999 interview, they said, "We hate all the photos we took in front of Icelandic landscapes. They don't mean anything, only the music does. This is also the reason why we put babies on our covers. They represent a form of innocence that we are very attached to. Being in the womb, there's so much peace and quiet, and when you get out, you just get into this madness. We like to think of it as something new, a new beginning. You're born into the chaos of this world. You die, and then you're born again." Just like Sigur Ros's music, our world is as chaotic as it is beautiful, and the angelic cover communicates that ebb and flow of life. The title also ties into that feeling, Augetis Börjun, meaning a good beginning. Number 6. Tool, Lateralus. Psychedelic artist Alex Grey has in a sense become the 5th member of Tool. For a good 25 years they've collaborated and he's been key in carving the band's visual brand. But out of all of Grey's designs, none are quite as iconic as Lateralus. The super trippy cover, featuring a man striking up a holy pose in the vein of Jesus or the Buddha, is a direct invitation to spiritual awakening. The translucent artwork also peels back to reveal layers of the human anatomy, representing levels of the self or deeper truths. Life is not always as it seems on the superficial plane. In short, Tool wants us to know that we are spiritual beings in a vast cosmic ocean of awareness, and the cover mirrors that existential message. Number 5. Bonobo, Black Sands. I've always loved this album cover, thinking it really fits the music, but I haven't been able to put my finger on exactly why that was. Then I came across this YouTube comment. Does anyone else feel like the album art perfectly sums up the Bonobo experience? Natural instruments, tree, with electronic elements, cell tower, and a chill vibe that transports slowly while rocking you back and forth. It's so perfect. This guy nails it. Bonobo is a master at fusing the organic and electronic. Black Sands in particular has a wide array of acoustic instrumentation that you wouldn't necessarily connect to dance music, such as mandolin, clarinet and kalimba. Bonobo's incredibly textured beats also feature many samples from day-to-day sounds, making them feel less synthesized. Black Sands is an electronic album, but for much of the record it doesn't feel like one. It's Bonobo's high watermark, a retro-futuristic masterpiece. Number 4. Animal Collective, Merriweather Post Pavilion. Now, when first looking at this cover, you might think it's an animation, but then you're wrong. It's actually a still image. Try going back and forth between focusing your eyes in the middle and then looking all around it to see how it moves accordingly. The illusory album cover is based on the works of Japanese psychologist Akiyoshi Kitaoka, who's been called the master of optical art, and it's a perfect representation of the music inside. Just one listen to this mind-bending psychedelic pop album is enough to know what emotion Animal Collective wants to give the listener. Merriweather Post Pavilion is basically a sonic acid trip, and for anybody that's tried psychedelics, this cover should really hit home. Number 3. Boards of Canada, Music Has the Right to Children. Even if Boards of Canada has come to dislike the term nostalgia, it's hard to come up with a better word to describe their music. Music Has the Right to Children saw the use of sampling children's voices and old kids' shows, coupled with grainy, degraded production, as if the music was made decades ago and has just been lying around in some attic, waiting to be discovered. What better way then of visualizing this type of music than an old analog family photo that you might find collecting dust in the same old attic? On this record, Boards of Canada expertly balances the sweet innocence of childhood with slightly unsettling vibes, represented in the faces being scratched out or withered by time, as if they're ghosts from the past coming back to haunt us. Number 2. Radiohead, Kid A. If OK Computer showed us a dystopian version of our own world, Kid A took us to an entirely different planet. A strange planet, distant and alien. Kid A was uncharted territory both for Radiohead and their fans. The record was strikingly different from what had come before, drawing heavily upon electronic influences rather than rock, and the cover perfectly matches that feeling of uneasily venturing somewhere unfamiliar. Affected by the ongoing Kosovo War, Radiohead collaborator Stanley Dunwood painted the now famous artwork, chasing a sense of looming danger and shattered expectations. The cover is ice cold, futuristic and analytical, much like the programmed electronic drum machines that came to define the record. Before we get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Number 1. My Bloody Valentine, Loveless. Come on now, did you really expect anything else to be in the top spot? If there's one album that truly sounds like its cover, it's Loveless. With this record, My Bloody Valentine not only set the standard for how shoegaze should sound, but they also defined the genre's visual aesthetics. Taken from the video To Hear Knows When, the cover depicts a guitar drenched in a haze of fuzzy pink, and just like the music, everything is out of focus, not quite clear, while still being warm and pretty, on the verge of dreamlike. This visual emphasis on layers and textures rather than clarity has almost become a cliché, with My Bloody Valentine's style going on to inspire heaps of future shoegaze and dream pop. But it all started here. Loveless, endlessly copied, never quite matched. To sum up, all of these covers are not only a good visual representation of the music, telling part of the album's story before we even hear the first note, but they also stand as beautiful art on their own. I think it's a shame that in this era of streaming, the album cover has been reduced to a tiny thumbnail on Spotify. This evolution has made album art virtually obsolete, with artists resorting to the most minimal approach, or even worse, using sloppy AI. For me, an album has the potential to be so much more than just the sum of its tracklist. It's an entire artistic vision that's expressed both through the music and the beautiful art accompanying it. Anyway, do you agree with my list? What would be your personal picks? Let me know in the comments.